In the Gospel of Philippa, text so dangerous the early church spent 3 centuries hunting down every copy, there is a single line that terrified the archbishops of Rome. It reads, "There is one thing made by hands that carries the light unchanged. When the powers see it, all of them flee at once, not some powers. All of them. Every archon assault, every form of spiritual manipulation, every method of energetic harvest, neutralized completely by one object you can create in 10 minutes tonight." The early Gnostics didn't carry dozens of protective amulets. They didn't perform elaborate, expensive rituals. They carried one thing, a single object. And according to the records of the inquisitors who hunted them, it worked so perfectly that the church didn't just ban the practice. They executed anyone found carrying these objects. Why? Because this wasn't protection through fighting. This was protection through frequency. Most teachings tell you how to battle the darkness. Jesus revealed something the church could allow you to know. You do need to fight the darkness. You simply need to vibrate at a frequency where the darkness cannot exist. Tonight, you are learning what this object is, why it destroys every form of archon attack, and exactly how to create it, starting immediately. If you are ready to become unreachable, comment, "They can't touch me right now." To understand why a simple piece of paper can dismantle a multi-dimensional attack, you must first understand the physics of the spirit world. We need to talk about the hierarchy of frequency. At the top is the monad, source, pure consciousness, infinite awareness, expressing as existence itself. From the monad, emanations flow outward like light through a prism. One of these is Sophia, divine wisdom. But Sophia, in an act of creation without her consort, births something unexpected. The demiurge is a being of such density that he cannot perceive the realms of light above him. Mistaking his blindness for supremacy, he declares himself God. He creates matter. He creates linear time. And he creates the archons to serve as his enforcers. Together, they craft this system, a prison of density, designed to trap divine consciousness and harvest its energy indefinitely. But here's the critical flaw in their design. The archons are downstream. They are not operating at monad frequency. They are not even operating at Sophia frequency. They are operating at demiurge frequency, distorted, dense, and slow. And the law of the cosmos is simple. The higher frequency always overrides the lower frequency. A river delta cannot control the mountain spring. The archon cannot control the monad. Think of ultraviolet light encountering bacteria. The UV light doesn't fight the bacteria. It doesn't argue. It doesn't negotiate. The frequency of UV light simply makes existence impossible for bacterial cells. They dissolve not because the light attacks them, but because their operational frequency is fundamentally incompatible with the light's presence. The light just exists, and its existence is lethal to anything vibrating below its range. That is the relationship between you and the archon. When you carry an object that transmits monad, frequency, pure source vibration anchored into physical form, you are not fighting the archon. You are broadcasting a signal that disintegrates their ability to hold form. It is like trying to keep ice solid inside a furnace. The ice doesn't need to be fought off. It melts automatically. Before we construct the anchor, you need to recognize the enemy. The archons attack in 5 distinct ways. Most people think they're just having bad luck or mental health issues. But the Gnostics knew better. If you have been experiencing even 2 of these, you are being targeted. 1. Mental assault. Intrusive thoughts that spiral out of control. Anxiety that starts small. Did I lock the door? And ends with you convinced your entire life is collapsing. Loops of self-sabotage right before a breakthrough. This is not your mind malfunctioning. This is an injection of foreign thought forms. 2. Emotional hijacking. You are having a normal day, and suddenly boom, a flood of rage, despair, or panic with no trigger. Or a minor disagreement turns into a relationship-ending fight. That is your emotional body being flooded with low-frequency energy to harvest the louche, the emotional runoff. 3. Energy drain. You sleep 8 hours but wake up exhausted. You are around certain people and feel depleted instantly. You start projects with fire, but the moment you try to work, you feel hit by a tranquilizer dart. That is an etheric cord siphoning your life force. Dream manipulation. Nightmares that feel hyperreal. Being chased, trapped, or attacked. Or the opposite, total dream suppression. You wake up with zero recall. A blank slate. That is your consciousness being targeted on the astral plane. 5. Synchronicity interference. The bad luck loop. You arrive just after the doors close. The email doesn't go through. The opportunity dissolves at the last second. This is timeline manipulation. The Archons interfere with probability lines to keep you stuck in density. 5 different locks. But Jesus gave the chosen ones a master key. One object, because all 5 attacks operate below the frequency of the monad. This one object neutralizes all of them simultaneously. So, what is the object? It is not a crystal. It is not a metal amulet that costs a fortune. It is a piece of paper with the true name of the monad written in your own handwriting. Now, pause. I know what you're thinking. A piece of paper. That's it. This is where the church's suppression worked. They taught you that power comes from gold, from statues, from priests. But the Gnostics understood the physics of standing waves. A name's a frequency signature. When you speak it, the vibration is temporary. But when you write it, when you anchor it into physical matter through the deliberate act of your hand to create a permanent broadcast. Why must it be your handwriting? Because you are the battery. Printed symbols are dead. They are mechanical reproductions. But when you write with conscious intention, you are transferring bioelectric energy from your nervous system through the pen and onto the paper. You are imprinting your unique DNA frequency onto the anchor. You are creating a frequency transmitter that broadcasts continuously. This being knows what they are. This being is monad. Here is the protocol. Do not deviate. Step 1. Get a clean piece of white paper that has never been written on. It must be blank, a field of infinite potential. Step 2. Use a black pen. Permanent ink. This represents the permanence of the monad. Step 3. Sit in silence. Take 3 breaths. Center your awareness. Step 4. Draw a circle. This represents the infinite consciousness. No beginning, no end. Step 5. Inside the circle, write the word monad, or the one if that resonates deeper in your native language. Do not use ancient Hebrew or Greek unless you speak it. The power is in your recognition, not the linguistics. You are declaring, I am not separate. I am source expressing as human. 4. Step 6. Fold the paper 3 times. Each fold seals the frequency. Step 7. Place it in your pocket, wallet, or phone case. Somewhere it touches your field daily. To an archon, this piece of paper looks like a spotlight blinding their night vision goggles. They cannot target you because they cannot see you through the glare of the frequency you are emitting. The church made it a capital crime to carry these handwritten names. They called it heresy. But the real crime was sovereignty. A person carrying this anchor didn't need the church to protect them. They were ungovernable. Here's what will happen. Within 24 hours, the mental static will stop. The loops of anxiety will break because the broadcaster has been jammed. Within 3 days, the energy vampires in your life will back away. They won't know why, but your presence will feel too bright or uncomfortable for their demons. Within 2 weeks, the synchronicities will return. The timeline will correct itself. Jesus revealed this not to start a religion, but to end a slavery. He taught the chosen ones to anchor the monad frequency because he knew the harvest was coming. You don't need to fight. You just need to vibrate higher. The archons can't touch the monad. And you are the monad. You just forgot. Tonight, create the object. 10 minutes. A pen. A piece of paper. Reclaim your sovereignty. If you are doing this tonight, declare it in the comments. I carry the name. Subscribe to Divine Codes, because next, we will teach you how to create anchors for your home, not just your person. The suppression is over. You are free.